This year, give something that says so much more than just happy holidays with a gift from Sephora. A chic lip oil that says, girl, I know you love borrowing mine. A gift set that says, thank you for taking him when my dog sitter backs out. A designer fragrance that tells her, I'm not really that into skateboarding. I'm into you. This holiday season, give something beautiful. Click or tap to shop holiday gifts at Sephora.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, No, it's all like I was looking for my phone. I was like, I like to keep my phone on the side. So like if I'm recording, I'm like something goes off, I'm like, let me look real quick. But I know I shouldn't because it's distracting. But speaking of phones, no, my phone, it helped me with this podcast idea and stuff. So, no, I was going through, by the way, people, make sure, after, like, some time, you clear out your screenshots, because, them screenshots will, build up, and then you're going to be wondering why you don't have enough space on your phone screenshots. So make sure, from time to time, clear that out. But anyways, so there was a screenshot that I did see, and it was a screenshot where I was posting. So I think you guys might remember before when I was talking on this racist dude that would join my stream. So there was a screenshot that I had seen from that time and era and stuff where I was posting a tweet, and I was saying like you can't explain racism to a person that's experienced racism. I said something along those lines, and it's true. Like you can't, like, if you've never have dealt with racism, and even if you have dealt with racism, it's like, fam, if you like, all right, so if you've never dealt with racism and then you're trying to explain to a person what racism is, like, unless you've studied, unless you've learned some history, unless you've seen some things that I have not seen, fam, whatever you say is gonna be some of the most dumbest stuff to be said in, like, life history, just like straight up like form of life history. Because, like, here's the thing. I'm going to explain to you guys, like, my knowledge and, like, where it all stemmed from and just, overall, like, my history with racism, right? And I'm going to just let y'all know, like, that's why if a person that, whatever their position is in the, racism, it's like, fam, trust me, I know what I need to know. But anyways, I have been studying racism ever since I was like maybe 5 or 6 years old. Ever since I got into elementary, and then when they had us be on computers, I'm like, meanwhile, while all the other kids was playing like whatever games that they was playing at that time, I was up on Wikipedia reading articles on other websites studying Martin Luther King. Fam, I was like studying the reason, reading books about racism. Like, I'm saying, there's like kids, I'll never forget. And this was like honestly one of the most like oddest and weirdest field trips I have ever been on. And I was like, especially like reading it to that guy. And I'm like, that guy, he's probably like, I don't know. Like, I think that guy, he was pretty old. I remember last time I seen him, he was like kind of like in a care facility in this old folks home. May he rest in peace. If I don't know. I don't want to be that person like I highly doubt he's alive, but I'm like, it was years ago. Like it was definitely I was maybe 8. It was almost 20 years ago. Like if that man, he looked like he could have probably been like, I don't know, maybe he's like pushing 100 or something. Maybe that man, he's still alive, kicking it and things. So, anyways, I just don't like thinking of stuff like in that negative fashion and stuff. But I mean, anyways, regardless, moving on. So, but no, I remember I went on this field trip, and I remember going to, like, they had us go on a field trip to an old folks home. I'm like, not the beach, not the park, not like some, like, center for kids. They had us go to an old folks home and read to old people. Now, I did not mind that field trip. I thought it was an odd field trip, but I did not mind it. But they had me read. Okay, well, they told us, they didn't even tell us, like, what we were choosing the book for. They just told us, choose a book, bring it with you. We're going to go on this, no, we were going to walk. We wasn't even taking a bus. We're going to walk to this old folks home. So I don't think the old folks home was that far away from that school that I was going to and stuff. So anyways, they had us choose a book. We walked all the way to this old folks home, and then had us just sit next to like some random old people. Well, my guy that I had to sit next to, he was like almost deaf. Like, he can hear somewhat, but it was like you had to like yell at him to like overall like get him to hear you and stuff. So I bring this book, and it's talking on like, you know, racism in like the 50s and 60s. Now, imagine, you know, like, how old was I at the time? Like 7, 8 years old? Imagine 7, 8-year-old me, okay? Voice hasn't even deepened yet. And I'm yelling to the top, maybe not yelling to the top of my lungs, but I'm yelling, okay? I'm talking at a loud volume. I'm sitting here reading this book about racism to this guy that most likely was there and seeing all of that stuff happen. He's probably looking like, why is he reading this to me? He couldn't have chosen like a Dr. Seuss book or something. But even then, okay, there's some of my earliest memories of learning about racism was reading that book. I don't even remember what that book was, but I just remember reading that book. Fast forward, I'm like learning more about Martin Luther King. I'm watching more documentaries about racism, more based on the true story movies and some fictional movies that still was kind of like inspired by true events, but it wasn't based on a true story movie. But I am watching about slavery, racism, all these other different things. I'm saying it's like, you know, like as the time progressed on, I learned, and then even dealing with it at one point in time in my life. I'll never forget, last day of school, 6th grade year, I had my first racist encounterment with this old lady that lived down the street from me. And it was all because I was getting ready to pet a dog that wasn't in her yard, that she did not own. It was a neighbor across the street from her. She's telling me, like, what to do with a dog she doesn't even own. So, that, you know, yeah, I think everybody knows of that story. If not, I think I've talked on it before. But anyways, if I did it, I'll do, like, maybe a podcast. Because now that was a very, very eventful day and stuff. So, anyways, but yeah, that, fast forward after that, I become a content creator. And it's during the time and era where, like, if you're black doing reaction videos, oh, fam, you are going to get some racist comments. And, my goodness, the racist comments that I was getting, you're the same black person. It's like, you can't do anything productive. You don't work. All you just know how to do is steal. Because I'm doing a reaction video to a Try Not to Laugh challenge for people that are doing reaction videos. It was stuff like that where it's like, bruh, like I feel like the more and more you deal with racism, the more and more you learn about it. But I already knew about it. So that's why I had to say, because a lot of people, like of color, that's like one of the things that people do ask me is like, how do I deal with racism? And I'm like, fam, I've been learning about it ever since I was a kid. And I feel like learning about it mentally prepared me for this. I feel like it mentally prepared me for like being a content creator, dealing with that stuff, because I had to say, if I was brand new to it, like, if I was like, because I feel like people out there, not necessarily saying that you're scared of racism, but those are like brand new to it. You don't know how to react to it. You know, like, you're easily upset. So I guess like you're scared of the idea of like having a racist encounter because you don't want that like level of anger in you and stuff. Because I know people out there that's like, if somebody says something racist to them, oh fam, they are ready to burn a place down. So, like, and that's people, it's like, you know, like, some may have, like, they dealt with, racism. I feel like with me, though, I don't know. I have to say, probably out of all the people that I know, like, I have dealt with, you know, well, I mean, with content creating alone, like, I've dealt with some racism and stuff. But I feel like that internet racism is, like, you know, like, I mean, it's not, like in this day and age, because I feel like, you know, you ain't gonna have people out there running up in your face calling you the N-word unless they're crazy or a crackhead or something. And I feel like with the internet, like, it's more, you know, like, I guess, like, verbally lethal, because, like, yeah, people, it's like, they're obviously ain't gonna say it to your face because they know that they're gonna get stumped out. So, like, the internet is the best place to say it. It's honestly, it is a free-for-all. There's no, like, yeah, there's some, like, crimes that you can't, obviously, like, that you can't break on the internet and stuff, but, like, racism, oh fam, like, you can get away with being like, unless like you get caught in things, but like, or if you try to like build like a successful name for you. Like, for an example, that guy that I was dealing with on Twitch, let's say if he tried to become a big content creator, and then all that stuff that, you know, that I overall posted about how he was being toxic and racist in my streams, like, he'll have to answer for that stuff. And that's the only thing. It's like, if you become big and famous, that's the only reason why you would get in trouble over stuff like that, is because you're big and famous. But other than that, like, if you're not, you can easily get away with that stuff. So, like, content creating, I'm sitting here, like, you know, with doing reaction videos, literally just being black on camera. I have to say, probably there's every black content creator has received a racist comment before. From the most attractive black people all the way to, like, the most craziest black person that you can possibly find on the internet. They all have dealt with racist comments before. So, like, here's the thing. All the way leading up to this day right now, me doing this podcast episode. Now, you gotta ask yourself that question. What more, based off of all the stuff that I've talked on, from dealing with racism in real life and on the internet, I mean, I could sit down and do a whole separate episode telling you guys of all the racist comments that I have received on the internet. I mean, I have a video up showing comments from, like, it's like a 3 to 4 minute video of me showing comments from, like, 2016 all the way up until I think it was like 2019 of the day, like the day of when that video was posted. Like, I'm showing all these racist comments and stuff. It's like, and I'm like, and what the like the screenshots or the pictures is only up on the thing for like 5 seconds. So there's like a lot of, like, you know, screenshots going throughout that video. But it was like a 3-part video of me talking on, like, this community that I was dealing with. They're racist, you know. So that's why it's like, when they try to, like, now fast forward all the way up until today, you know, having it where there are some people in this world that think that they can tell me what racism is and what racism, like, and what it isn't. And that's, like, that's a pet peeve of mine, because when people try to, like, change my mind on something, like overall, like, yeah, racism. Like, if you're trying to tell me, and I'm like, fam, with that whole history lesson that I just gave you guys of my, you know, history with racism, do you honestly think you can sit down and tell me what's racist and what's not racist? So a person, you know, let's start off with the bare minimum, right? Let's say a person looks me up and down, you know, like all these white people, they walk through, we shake their hands, all that stuff. It comes down to me. That person don't shake my hand. They look me up and down. They give me the most nastiest look of all time. I'm all like, okay, maybe they seen my YouTube videos and, yeah, they overall don't like me, right? So I'm like, okay, all right, you know, I'll give them that. Few more white people walk in, another black person, same thing. I'm like, okay, well, maybe he is also a YouTuber and stuff, and they're doing the same thing to them also. I'm like, okay, all right, maybe I'm like, hey, you a YouTuber? No, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm like, I don't do that type of stuff. I'm like, okay, so that's strike 2 with that person. Bunch of white people walk in. Morgan Freeman, the actor, he walks in. Now I'm like, okay, you gotta shake Morgan Freeman's hand. You can't look him up and down like how you just did me and this other black person. And they do the same thing to Morgan Freeman, okay? You gonna tell me that that's not racist? You gonna sit down and tell me that something, I'm like, no, after a 3-strike rule, I'm like, no, something is off with that. Something is completely 100% off with that. You ain't gonna sit here and convince me that that's not racist. They might not be a Morgan Freeman. No, they're not a black person fan. I'm like, I ain't hearing, you got where it's like somebody that's barely famous, you got a person that's not even famous at all, they don't even do no social media stuff, you got literally one of the biggest black actors of our time walk into a place. I will find that odd, but at the same time, like, it would be like, you know, crazy to see that. But then I'm like, no, with that person, nah, like, if they, because I'm like, no, that's weird. That's just weird. But it's racist, but it's weird. So anyways, or let me think of some other situations or scenarios. I mean, I feel like the one thing that always has happened, and it's been going on for a long period of time, is like when black people out there, they try to get jobs and stuff, and then there's places out there that won't take them in. I'm like, why is that? I'm all like, why is it that they'll take in a white person because, you know, and it's like their resume. I know people. Here's the thing. I know people because they've been people that have told me this, but how they have worked at a job for a long period of time and they, you know, barely get promotions. They barely get any, you know, like higher up praises or whatever. And some, you know, like random white person starts the job. They're getting all these promotions. They're getting all these praises and all this other extra stuff. And it's like, fam, what about this black person that's been working for your guys' business for all these years? And they've been putting so much hard work and dedication. But it's like with this random person that just started, what, how long ago? And you mean to tell me that they're getting more than this? I'm like, nah, fam. You can't sit here and tell me that that's not racist. And so, and I'm like, or with like, oh my God, like some of the customers I had dealt with at my job. Oh, let's talk about the one customer that I had to push in the elevator, but I paid attention to it one day, seeing how many white people he was talking to versus black people, and it's like, yeah, I could tell on that man's Facebook friends list, he probably ain't got not one. He probably got one black friend because he didn't know that they were black, and he was just like, oh, maybe they might be of a different, you know, race or something, but then found out they was probably like half. He probably got like half black friends because he was just curious. He was just like, nah, they don't look like they can be black or anything. No, they don't look like that guy. So he's been bamboozled. But no, just seeing how he treated me versus how he treated some of my other coworkers. Yeah, it's like, you know, that, yeah, let's see, like, people. If you're going to tell me that the things that I've dealt with, I'm going to just say this. If you're going to tell me the things that I've dealt with in my life, from like people trying to tell me like, oh, a traumatic experience that I dealt with in high school where a girl, I thought we were close and good friends. I thought we, you know, there was something between, I'm saying we always hung out with each other. And then the one time I want to like take things to a next level, I get told, no, I can't be with you because of the color of your skin. You're black. You're going to sit here and try to tell me that that's not racist? Like, fam, for those out there that want to tell me what's racist and what's not racist, that's a conversation you're not going to win. That's a conversation you are not going to win under any circumstances whatsoever. And it's funny because I remember when I made a video talking on how this community was racist. And all these people hated on the video. All these people was just like, you know, going off on the videos and all that stuff. And it's funny because I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm all like, I'm going to just leave it alone. I'm like, I know what I saw. I know what I'm dealing with, but I'm going to just leave it alone. Fast forward maybe a year, 2 years later, another content creator. He makes the same video talking on how the leader of the community, he's racist. And showed all these different videos. I at least didn't show, all I just did was just talk on my experience with the content creator. He showed video proof that that content creator was racist. And of course, like, he didn't, you know, that creator, he didn't answer for any of it. He didn't apologize for any of it. He defended himself. And it's crazy when, like, people, they know that they're saying racist things. They know that they're doing racist things, but they want to defend it. They want to make it seem like that, oh, I'm not doing anything wrong. This is just how I act. Well, you're acting racist, okay? I'm going to just say that, all right? So, anyways, and that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 43 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you're purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. And then that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.